James Mathers for the Digital Cinema Society at Cine Expo 2026. I'm here with my buddy Michael Cioni. He's co-founder of Strada, and Strada's got so many interesting new things. Tell us about it.
Well, what we did this time, we just keep listening to people, and you hear me say that every show. You got to listen to the customers. And as we grew the product, we just learned we had too much surface area. It was in too many places, and your team went through it, got it to work, but that setup process was a little steep sometimes. Where is this button? When do I use this part? The website. So Strada version 2 was this rethought of taking all of our surface area and putting it in one place. But here's like the thought that came to us. We have been working with clouds for so long that we interact with clouds through websites. That's how you connect and talk and interface with your cloud. So we initially thought, okay, let's do that. But now that we are not cloud, we're like the non-cloud guys, we're like, that's not how creative people interact with their footage. We interact with our footage at the Finder level, in the desktop, right? Whether you're a filmmaker, but also a photographer, is Finder into Lightroom, right? An audio person is audio into Pro Tools or Logic or something like that. And we learned that we know that this is the workflow that people actually use. So why use a cloud? So when people use clouds, they go to the cloud in a web page and then they download those files where? To their hard drive. And then how do they get them? They go to the Finder. So Strada version 2 is a Finder. So we're reinventing the idea of how you interact with files, just like the cloud companies invented it a decade or more ago. So if you look here, this is Strada now. Everything's in one app. It's just a Finder. I can see my desktop, documents, downloads, but I can also see other computers. So here is a computer in Los Angeles, and I can go to a giant drive here. I can look at this in thumbnail view or list view or column view. And if I open this file up, all I got to do is open up the player. I'll hit there. So I can open up my folders and start to view assets as if it's a Finder. So everybody knows how to interface with these types of directories because they, Finder level interaction is the same. So let me go to some files here, open up this file directory, and now I see the files, and like a Finder, I can make this wider or smaller or bigger. I can click on different assets. I could go to thumbnail mode. I can make it big or small, and I can go around. I can look at this in full screen and go to the next take, next take, next take, right? So you have the ability to just move around your files as if they're local, but just like you want as an editor, I can drag and drop them into Resolve as well. So if I want to drag, now I've grabbed these files and now I can play them back in Resolve or go into a timeline and access them there. So what we've just done is we've taken the access of a Finder. I hope people get it. I know I go fast on these things, but what we've done is we've taken the access of a Finder and just made it drag and drop.
It's a remote Finder.
It is a remote Finder, yeah. There's a big blue invite button on it so that if I go to any folder, I can invite someone to it. In a way, we think operating systems should actually be built this way. Like your Finder or in Windows, a file explorer, you should just be able to invite people to those files and folders and drives. Why isn't it built that way? That's kind of how it should work. So for our version and our vision, it's to make the Finder access, play, view, and drag and drop wherever you want, and the files don't have to download in order to do that. I do want to show you one last trick though. If you want to transfer files, I can just take these files, open up a new Strada window, and I can go to Colorado, and I could go on the desktop. I could create a new folder called DCS, and in that folder right there, if I wanted to drag these files, I just drag and drop. And now it's going to move files from Los Angeles to Colorado as a drag and drop. And it doesn't have to go through Amazon first or Google or Azure or whatever. It's just a drag and drop. And I can monitor that drag and drop experience right here. And I can see the progress of the files of everything as it starts transferring. And we're doing this on the Wi-Fi here. When I do a transfer like this, it doesn't go through us. I'm able to negotiate movements that don't have to go through you locally, which allows you to transfer files much more efficiently.
You're creating your own web.
You are. We sometimes say be your own cloud. I don't know if that works because it's not cloud, but We're new, so you try. We're like comedians have to try material out in the small stage. That's us. That's what you help us do. And then we learn what resonates with people because this is different. It's a different way of thinking and working. And until you try it, it doesn't always make sense. You got to get in, try it. Strada.tech, free for 7 days. And we make it inexpensive thereafter, not because we're trying to be cheap. We're way cheaper than cloud. It's like 90%. But it's not because we're trying to be cheap. It's because we're using your infrastructure. Your drives, your computers, your internet service provider, and we don't have to charge you for billion-dollar data center overhead.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Thanks, Jim, as always.
Keeping us up to speed.